I repeat that to myself because I, like many of us, come from a family paradigm that believes it's got to be this way, man. It's got to be this way. If it's not this pinpoint thing happening always, man, my life is fucked. No, it's not true. My life is this fucking grand, open, beautiful, infinite landscape
Mhm. Yeah, and expanding.
constantly. And it's endless. The opportunities are endless. And when one door closes, two, three more are opening. That's
Yeah,
the reality I live in.
yep. And just like think, even just saying that or like holding that in mind, you feel so different, right?
Totally, man.
Like that like the openness to the expansiveness of your existence is so
Every
empowering.
every time I go into that feeling tone, I literally feel my intestines and my solar plexus go from this to this.
Mhm.
It's really powerful, especially as I make it more and more intentional. This happened like last week. I made this decision because I realized even now, it's like this constant excavation, studying of the self, constant. I
Yeah.
went, oh, where am I limiting myself? Where am I holding these limiting beliefs? Where am I living in an old paradigm that's no longer serving me? Oh man, I tend to get bogged down or locked into the idea that I need to be small. I need to keep my life small. I need to keep myself small because that's safe. That's okay. Don't let too many people see me. Don't get too big. Don't get too successful. I went, okay, let's change that. Let's start rewriting that right now. My life is this massive, open, infinite landscape of possibility and opportunity. And this whole unraveling happens. It was like everything's like in a fist. Everything's just like open. There's blood flow. There's circulation. There's freedom. There's relaxation.
I love
And I
that.
think all of us can do that. Like everybody has their own thing and it changes over time too, because eventually that belief will integrate into my subconscious and I'll be walking around with that belief. That's part of my paradigm because I practice it, I visualize it, I repeat it over and over again. I repeat it to myself and then it just gets ingrained, it gets programmed into the mainframe. And then there will be something else. There will be
Yep.
something else that I get to look at or that's inhibiting me in some way or that's kind of closing me off in a part of my life or whatever it might be. And so we just keep shifting. We keep shifting and growing and expanding. We transcend and include.
Yeah. And that's cool. Like you said, like once you become aware of what did you call it before, your subconscious belief matrix?
Yeah,
Like as we become aware of that, then we can start to recognize what are the beliefs that are creating my worldview. And then like something like that, when your worldview changes from something so like narrow and myopic and like kind of basically like survival based,
yes,
and you open up to something more expansive and more about abundance and thriving and being all that you
yeah,
can be in the world. And which is kind of like we owe it to the world to be that,
totally,
to be
dude.
the best version of ourselves, because the only way we can have the best version of our society is to have the best version of each one of us.
Exactly.